everyone, and welcome to the first episode, and hopefully not last, of the Transparent Podcast. I am your host, Nuke Guy, and I am joined by co-host Acer for Life.
Hello.
Life, okay.
I-
This is probably going to be incredibly scuffed, but we're gonna work with what we've got. Both of us have not been uploading much recently. Uh,
Why are you calling me out? It's like the first 50 seconds.
well, because why not? But we should both
Okay.
hopefully be coming back with a lot of stuff planned. So,
Yeah.
obviously, I'm starting with a podcast. Uh, one of the things I wanted to talk about was about, I don't know how many days ago. This is being recorded on the 26th of July. So about a little over a week ago, I saw Space Jam 2 with the funny LeBron James from Fortnite. I thought it would be. I thought we should give a bit of a review on it. I mean, I thought it was alright. It wasn't the
Um.
best thing.
Okay. So this is the time where I give my input, but
I
I have to say
thought it
this
was gonna be
before
a
I
little back
even
and forth,
before I
but okay.
even okay before I even say anything that could possibly sound negative. I don't expect an athlete to be a 5-star actor. So with that, it was mediocre. It was mediocre.
I was gonna
I'd have
say
to
LeBron James. He, he's something with acting, if you could call it that. He was not the
look
best.
point. At this point, you're just giving orders. You're just telling orders to a guy, and he's just following them. So I mean, if he gave it his best, and I guess that's what we have to work with.
I mean, yeah, but I don't know. I I still think the original was probably better. The original also did not have the best. Was not the best movie. Definitely didn't have the best lines. the The writing was not the greatest. But I
Well,
mean,
like
I
I
don't know.
saw off of a video, I mean, it blatantly showed itself as not being a good movie, and it was just for a cash grab. They
Yeah,
weren't lying with themselves. They said they were going with that, and that's how they presented it. So, I mean, at least they're telling the truth.
yeah. I mean, a lot of people were like, "Oh, it's not good at all," because it's just Warner Bros. Being like, "Look how many properties we have. Watch our movie. Give us money." But I mean, I thought I thought it wasn't
Yeah,
completely just a complete corporate cash grab, just trying to put as many properties in to get people to watch. It definitely felt like there was some some amount of effort and actual care put into making it. So I mean,
I mean, definitely in
yeah,
the comedy department,
there were
but
some
like
good
there was
parts.
effort in there.
Yeah,
But like the references were cool. I mean, this is all taken from people who like experienced this for the first time,
hmm,
and I don't even remember watching the original Space Jam. So all the references people may say that are old to them may just be new and younger lens,
hmm,
if that makes sense.
yeah. I mean, I did appreciate that there was a lot of kind of variety on a lot of different things they had. Because I mean, you had like Matrix, but then also like you know Casablanca, but then also you had the funny Rick and Morty. There's a lot of
Yeah,
variety that a lot of
one.
that could give a
A
lot of
lot of
people
variety.
like a good smile. I I I
Mhm.
think
Definitely think it did.
yeah, I will say I think the movie overstayed its welcome a little bit. I think they could have made it like
Yes,
15
they
to
could have
30
made it
minutes
way
shorter.
shorter.
Yeah.
I did not care for that kid's life, for real. Like, it was so uninteresting. It was uninteresting. I did not care. I could not relate with him.
Yeah.
For real. He was moved down to his dad, if Imma be honest. But they could have definitely made it shorter. With all this, like, trying to bond and figure out family dynamics, it was
Mhm.
not necessary, especially that one guy that was LeBron's manager. He was not funny one bit.
Yeah.
I mean, that one
Yeah.
where he was trying to put himself into the game,
Mhm.
that one scene was, I
That
admit,
was
made me
that was
smile,
good.
but at the
That
end of
was
the
all
day,
right.
that was the only highlight that I will ever remember from that guy. He was just an unnecessary actor
Mhm.
that was put into there for comic relief. He
Yeah.
didn't even do the job properly.
Yeah, I think a lot of the beginning part before like LeBron James and his kid get sucked into like the whole Don Cheadle world. Like that whole beginning section probably could have been shortened a bit. And then I think also
Yeah,
the match
definitely.
itself definitely could have been shorter. 100% the match could have been shorter, but
The match itself, no, I feel I have to disagree with that one. The match I feel was perfectly timed and it fit all of the right aspects into it.
uh, I don't know.
That's just my personal opinion.
I mean, I will say they definitely, even though I felt like the match itself went on for a little too long, they definitely used the time they have to do a lot of different creative things when it came to like how everyone was like scoring points and stuff. They definitely put as much creativity as
Yeah,
possible into a lot of the things. I think
yeah,
the the
I can say that too.
the spectator not spectators the commentators they had during the match were good. They had some good lines, I think.
Commentators definitely did help with, passing the time.
Oh yeah.
With with the official commentator, I forgot his name, um, but the official commentator, which was the old guy,
Hmm.
he, with his, like, technical and rational thinking with the faith being the other guy,
Yeah, it was kind of like
it
they kind
definitely
of
blended
contrasted
well
each other.
together. Yeah, they definitely did help each other in their weak points.
Yeah, it was kind of a good blend of two different kinds of people. I I'm trying to think. I think the designs of like a lot of the Looney Tunes were alright, but I think the CGI versions were not that great. Like I think Bugs and Lola especially did not look right, like with the faces when they were in CGI. I think a lot of them looked a bit off.
Yeah,
Like I would have preferred like
a lot of
original
people
Space
said.
Jam, just they stayed in 2D. I would have preferred that.
Yeah, a lot of people were commenting about how the CGI, even though it looks like CGI definitely has evolved from back then,
Oh
but
yeah.
even though the CGI looks, it just doesn't feel right
Mhm.
with some of the characters. A lot of people were talking about that.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the like new like outfits they gave them for like the Toon Squad looked cool. I liked kind of the big like, you know, circle, and I thought the like light kind of like light sky blue uh color for the outfits. I thought those looked nice. I thought they did a good job designing those. But I
Yeah,
I think they overdid the CGI like in the whole basketball scene. At some points you couldn't really tell what you were looking at because there were so many things, especially with like the because the one guy was really like made of water. You had pretty much particle effects like everywhere on the screen. It was a bit of a mess.
personally, I don't think it was much of a problem. I didn't have any like discomfort trying to figure out what I was looking at.
Hmm.
So I really thought I'd still think that the CGI didn't really hinder the experience for any of the viewers, at least for me. So
Hmm.
I can't say that for you because I
Yeah, I think I think there were definitely a few scenes they could have they could have done without. Like I think the part where they just had like Porky Pig rapping. I I think they could have done without that.
graphic, nah. That was another highlight of the movie. I think the internet could definitely agree with me on that one. Porky bat some heat. Like that was literally it was entertaining to watch and very clever with how they ended it. If people can say it's corny, people can say whatever. I gotta say that pig has some bars.
Yeah, there are definitely
I
a lot
I
of.
loved it.
Yeah, there are definitely. It was very much kind of like an up and down. I will say, generally going from like scene to scene. It was much like, oh, this part's good, and then this part's not that great. To this part's good. To I don't even know what's going on anymore. Is a bit all over the place.
Yeah, I could definitely agree with that.
But
In terms of pacing again was way too slow.
yeah,
So
mainly the
when it
beginning.
did pick up, it was yeah, when it did pick up the speed, so it kind of felt abnormal. It didn't feel like you
Mhm.
were in the right movie anymore.
Mhm. Yeah. I think I will say I was pleasantly surprised by the amount of actual like 2D animation that was in it. There's a lot more than I was expecting, and those parts of the film were probably the parts I enjoyed the most. I think,
Yeah, they were pretty good to look at.
because I think I'd say probably my favorite scene was probably when like Bugs and LeBron had to go and get the whole Toon Squad back together, and they're going to like all these different places to get everyone. I think that was probably the best scene. I mean, obviously, besides the game itself, I think the game itself is obviously the best part because that's what you're there for. But outside of that, I think that was probably the best section of the film. I enjoyed
Yeah,
that the
I
most.
for this, yeah, for sections, I definitely think it's the build up trying to figure out. It was very much a letdown to see that there wasn't as many cameos
Mm-hmm.
as I expected there to be since they introduced the idea of it being a whole multiverse. When they went to
Mm-hmm.
each place, I felt like at least bring back something. Don't just reuse a film. Like if you see that if you can look closely, if it's not obvious, some of the animations that were whatchamacallit set in there are whatchamacallit
What? What?
they're reused, and yeah, some of the, animations that are in there are reused or some of the, like, parts that they have. Do you
Mm-hmm.
remember the black and white moment?
Yeah, the Casablanca part where it had the
Yeah.
guy with the big beard. I don't remember his name.
Yeah, I don't know his name either. I feel like it ends with a Sam or something, but
Mm-hmm.
that part was reused, and when you, see the giant robot that walks towards the court,
The
they
Iron Giant.
reused the same exact yeah, the Iron Giant.
Uh,
Sorry for not being, cultured. It's fine. Uh, the Iron Giant is reused. I saw it from someone else. It
hmm.
was they reused the same exact model with, everything in it. So, if they definitely had, more effort in the cameos
Hmm.
and the references instead of just saying, "Aha, look at this, funny. Look at all the things we've made."
Yeah.
I definitely think it could have helped the overall movie.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that problem could probably be solved a bit in a Space Jam 3 because I'm pretty sure the director of the second film said if they did another one, it wouldn't be the same. Like, it wouldn't be like Space Jam, Looney Tunes play basketball with some, like, really good basketball player and such. It would be completely different, kind of like with how a lot of, like, scrapped Space Jam films were, where it was like Skate Jam, Golf Jam, and stuff like that. So I think a third movie would probably help if that was what they went with.
I feel like if they're making a movie, it's definitely for just nostalgia
Mm-hmm.
sake, and it's just trying to get their viewers back. I'm not
Yeah.
even gonna lie with you.
Definitely. I I'm trying to think. I think. Oh yeah, that's what I was saying. I did like the credits because the credits were just like the whole credits were a mix of a bunch of different like scrapped Space Jam sequels from throughout the years. Because he had like Bill Murray and Bugs Bunny golfing at one part, and then them like skating with Tony Hawk at another from like other scrapped
Mm,
versions. I thought that was like a nice credit. It's just gonna be like there. Here's all these attempts at doing a Space Jam sequel, and now he like finally got one made.
yeah.
But
Um.
I I will say I think my favorite um like not section but like specific scene, there were a lot of good just like little moments. Like I think the part where they tried to hype up Michael Jordan coming to help him
Yes.
and it
Yes.
turns out to
That
be the
was
wrong
that
Michael
got
Jordan.
everyone.
That was
That
such a
had
good part.
everyone on their seats. They definitely debated everyone on that part. It was definitely something like, "Ha, got you."
Yeah,
I could say that was
that
very,
was good.
very. Um, with other than that, I'd say that overall the end of the movie was very good.
Mhm.
The build up towards it was, I'd say, pretty good as well.
Mhm.
But the beginning definitely should have been
Yeah.
shorter and
Yeah.
probably cut out while looking through the film.
Mhm.
Now, that's all the praise. I Is there anything else that you could say
Uh I was going to say
good about?
about like the beginning and stuff. They definitely need to do a stronger beginning because that's definitely an important thing with filmmaking. If you don't have like a strong start, you're not going to be able to really initially kind of reel viewers in. And if you don't do that,
Yeah,
then later on when it gets better, it's not really the viewer isn't going to feel as like part of this kind of world that the film takes place in.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I will say that this is more of a personal like experience kind of thing, but I did like the part when Don Cheadle's little buddy, Don Cheadle's like, "Oh, I made him look cuter," and he like opens his mouth and he has messed up teeth, and I just went, "He's British." that that made me laugh only because it was like my own joke. It's not one from the movie, so it was more like
Yeah.
personal. I liked. I will say, I heard that it would either be you'll like Don Cheadle's character or you won't. And I will say I definitely
Mm.
can see that there's really no in between. I think I like Don Cheadle's character. The name was a little dumb. They gave him the name Al G Rhythm, which I think was a little. They didn't think too hard on a name, but I thought his character wasn't that bad.
Yeah, that's where I was gonna segue into. He is not a very well written or well rounded character in terms of being an antagonist.
Mm-hmm.
He seems like he seems like a cheap cliche off of your typical villain with their typical sidekick that they just like
They just kind of
harass every time
use.
they don't do it right. Yeah. So I'd say that his character was not really well put together at all. I don't think that they I don't think that it was a problem on his part. I feel like the source material was just ne- there was no source material
Yeah,
for an antagonist like that.
yeah. I was
So
gonna say.
obviously, since they were trying to switch it up, he didn't really have source material to work with. And
Mm-hmm.
but even then, I don't think that they could have executed him like that. I definitely think him as an antagonist was targeted towards children
Yeah.
because the attention span on this guy, for me, the attention span on me trying to look at this guy was just as much as a kid looking at YouTube or something. Like
Yeah.
there will be every video that grabs their attention. Like that's not gonna. I can't hold my attention on him for too long.
Mm-hmm.
He's just not a good. There's nothing memorable about him.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to feel bad because they're taking the AI's credit. That's what he was
Mm-hmm.
built for.
I
He's not supposed to have
yeah.
a personality. What am I supposed to feel bad for a computer?
Yeah, I mean, I think a big thing was like you're saying, with no real like source material, they almost made it feel like they've like been a person that's been like here for ages, but it's just like someone we've never known about. So it's like it gives off this feeling of like we should know who this is, but we don't, because they didn't even give him like this like real like interesting introduction. They were
Yeah,
just kind of like,
he just
here he is.
he just came out of nowhere,
Yeah,
just swiping on the screen. Like, how am I supposed to know who that is?
yeah. I will say that they also had Big Chungus in the movie, which was definitely that gave it points. That gave it points.
I mean, intentionally or not. Yeah, yeah. I guess I'd say that's cool. They definitely did. What they did pander to was the internet's more just culture
Mm-hmm.
with all the meme references. So
Yeah.
that's I can say they did a good job on
Yeah.
that. But
They
instead of
definitely.
focusing on what sounds funny or what can boost it up as a meme, boost up the movies like um not credibility, but boost up the like notoriety. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Instead of trying to boost up its notoriety by using memes, it definitely
Mm-hmm.
should have focused on making a good story. And the story wasn't bad, but
Yeah.
it felt like a fever dream.
I mean,
Like it's something that I can't really recall on the top of my head, but I
yeah.
know I experienced it.
I mean, to be fair, the first Space Jam didn't really have the greatest story either. It didn't make too much
It
sense.
had the greatest story either, but there's a difference between the two,
Yeah.
and you can definitely see.
I mean, you were talking about kind of pandering to kind of like internet culture and stuff. I think they pandered a lot towards LeBron. They were constantly being like, "Oh, he's the king. He's the best basketball player in the world," and stuff. It's like, okay, I get it, he's good at
Which is
basketball.
true, like, yeah, yeah, definitely, but I felt like that's not I'm not saying it's deserved, but,
Yeah,
um, I'm not a big basketball guy.
I'm not a big sports
Have
person at all.
yeah, I haven't seen I maybe have seen, like, one game, but it was on YouTube for free. I didn't even watch the whole thing, but he definitely did put a lot of work to get where he was at. I
Mm-hmm.
cannot deny that. There are a lot of people speculating about his official, like, well, their terms of official ranks for him and if players are above him. But I have to say that he's a pretty good player. His athleticism, and overall just love for the game definitely put him
Mm-hmm.
where he was at.
Yeah.
So when they said he's king, I mean, I wasn't too bothered by that,
I mean,
but
I
I
get
don't
why,
like
cause his nickname is King James. Like I understood that, but they just did stuff like too many times, being like he's the king and he's the best player.
yeah,
They
I
did
can
it too
understand
much.
that.
Cause I mean, it's like okay, I get he's good at basketball, but I mean that's why they had Michael Jordan in the first one, cause they're like we need like some good basketball player to be in the movie. But you know, it
Yeah, I
wasn't
still
like they were
can't
constantly
believe
being like, look, it's
yeah,
LeBron James, he's so good at basketball. I mean, he was literally playing baseball in the movie. I mean, you know, in the
to be
first
honest,
one.
I don't know why Michael Jordan didn't accept the movie offer or if they even offered it to him. I don't care how old you are. If you're able to run and jump like that, bro, you better get on that acting stage and say some words. At least say something. Be a cameo. I don't know how much we'd have to pay him for him to get up with his old bones, but even if you had to use a cane or something,
Yeah, I mean,
like I need him.
it
Pause.
might have had to do with. I mean, who knows how much money Warner Bros. Gave towards budgeting the film, and I mean, I'm sure a lot, probably a good chunk of the budget of the film was probably towards LeBron James himself, because I mean, you know, it's expensive just to get like a famous person's likeness
Yeah,
somewhere. It costs
I
a lot
can
to even
agree
just
with
get
that.
that. So again, the actual person probably was definitely a good chunk of the budget. So they were probably like, LeBron James is too much. We need to, because I mean there was a lot of CGI, so they probably put most of the money towards that. towards actually making all the CGI in, but then you also had to take into account paying for the animation. They were probably like, well, Michael Jordan cost too much, so we're not going to actually put him in. We'll just put in this kind of trick in one scene, making you think he's going to be in it.
Which, yeah, I guess. I mean, I still can't really fully say that it was the best call to make. I felt like Michael Jordan should have been on there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about money, and I get that.
Yeah.
But if I felt like if he was put it there, and who knows, maybe he was the one that gave the or his agent was the one that gave the like the price that broke the camel's back. Like maybe they just couldn't really go to what he was trying to demand.
Mm-hmm.
Not trying to put in a bad connotation, but I definitely felt like if they tried and really tried to invest in this, it could have paid off
Yeah.
with Jordan. But hey, I'm not a businessman. Someone may be calling me dumb out there, so I just keep my mouth shut about it.
Yeah, I mean, thinking about it now, it could also be that they might have been trying to not make it too. They probably wanted to make the sequel a little more independent, just so that they could
Yeah, maybe
expand
for
upon it more for more like newer people, so it could still kind of be its own thing, especially if they want to do something not basketball related in a third movie.
yeah. I don't know how they're gonna pull it off, but if they do, I will be surprised. And the thing that I also didn't like about the movie was everyone's like apparent fourth wall or acknowledgement that there's been a
Oh
movie
yeah.
before it. Just like with Lola Bunny, with when they were I don't know why they even did that to her. I felt like Lola Bunny in the Looney Tunes cartoon was way different from this Lola Bunny.
The
And
Looney
this
Tunes show version was peak of the
yes,
character.
they should have used that as a like I'm not saying with the whole controversy about oh Lola Bunny not look good no more. I cry. No, bro, like that's just them being horny. I could get that. Like
Yeah.
I wasn't asking for the Lola Bunny to look the same way, but why take away what made her great other than like
I mean, to be fair, in the original, the only personality they really had was just they're good at basketball. To be fair,
true, true.
that you
And
had to
that's they had a chance to
build
change
the
it.
character more.
Yeah, but they had a chance to change it. And changing Lola Bunny's character, why is she at Asgard? What does she have any correlation with not if I'm saying it right, Asgard or wherever they are.
It's not Asgard. That is Thor from
Uh
Marvel.
bro. Cut that out. Cut that out. Cut that out. What was she doing at Wonder Woman's crib? That's what I'm gonna say. What was she doing there?
I have no clue. I still think they should have used more of like her character from like Looney Tunes show and stuff like that, because those were ones where they really expand the character more and made them more of like someone you could actually see a personality in. Because
Yeah.
I mean, in the Looney Tunes show, they're pretty much this like psychotic stalker, except funny, and
Yeah.
that was like peak. That was peak of the
It would have
character.
been funny just to see Bugs running like the population instead of two with LeBron, including LeBron James. It would have been three, and it was um Bugs running away from Lola Bunny.
Yeah, like I
That
think it
would have been
definitely,
funny.
yeah, it definitely could have introduced a bit more kind of creativity, especially because
And then
they had a reference to the Looney Tunes show and a couple other like Looney Tunes things in the scene where he was like giving LeBron a haircut. So
yeah,
it was definitely like they knew it existed, but they 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 didn't try to really change the character.
yeah, it's just very much. I don't know why that was there, and it also that was also what was included like in my whole fever dream thing. Like that's not really memorable. If anything, making Lola Bunny this like type of way just discredited again Looney Tunes and also didn't make that part too much memorable for it. Even if you remembered it, it wasn't for a good reason. You probably just didn't. You didn't get it. You didn't like it. You just didn't understand it in general.
Mm.
Why was she there? I do not know.
I
Why
mean,
was Wonder Woman? I mean, they did. I guess you
well, it
could
was in
say
a
with the
one.
whole.
They were in a Wonder Woman comic. I wonder why Wonder Woman's there. Can't
No, no,
figure out
no.
why.
I was one. No, no, no. I wonder why they were there in the first place. If they wanted to include Wonder Woman, why didn't they just include that when they were recruiting the Daffy?
I'm pretty sure they were there when they were in the DC world, because it had the whole like Justice League
I
from
mean,
that
I
show.
guess,
I'm pretty sure Wonder Woman was there. But then,
man,
because here's the thing, they went into Wonder Woman comics. You had like animated show, but then comic. I don't know why it would be separate, not just one whole DC. But
yeah, that's a part of the thing that I'm saying. It just doesn't make sense.
yeah, it was a little. There were just a lot of bits that were like you could have improved upon a lot. Like they just could have generally done better, done without some scenes. I think was really the main changes they should have made, and it probably would have made the film a lot more memorable. Because that's the thing about the original is it's memorable, even though it's not the greatest. You remember what happens. You remember watching it. Well, kind
Yeah,
of.
yeah.
I
For
mean,
anyone that watched
I
it,
I couldn't really remember watching it, but then once I like resaw some scenes, I was like, okay, no, yeah, never mind. I remember seeing this film before.
yeah, especially when they had the whole like cameo with the official monsters. I was like, yep,
Yeah,
I remember those guys.
yeah. It was like, oh, they look familiar. I'm like, oh yeah, they're from the first movie. Which I did think was a bit weird how they almost tried to make them seem like enemies still, even though at the end of the first Space Jam they kind of became friends. And I'm pretty sure they wanted to stay with the Looney Tunes at the end of the film. So that was a bit weird. Like, you would think they would have been there, not just at the game, like actually in the
Yeah,
Looney Tunes world, but then they weren't. So,
I mean, they definitely could have had. I mean, again, they were trying to branch themselves away from even being like noticeable by the like old movies, so I can
mm-hmm.
understand why they didn't really do too much about that.
Yeah. I think I think that was generally I think that's generally kind of my thoughts. Like
Same.
overall it was just was it a good movie? No.
Eh,
Was it a bad movie? I definitely
not at
wouldn't
all.
say it was bad. Yeah. It's very mid-tier, but it sounds like it's worse because a lot of people just say that it is just one big like marketing scheme of showing how many
Yeah.
IPs they own when I'd say it's not completely that.
I mean, yeah, definitely. They didn't lack again in like trying to make people laugh.
Yeah.
They did a good job in that, but it's not just laughs that makes a movie memorable unless
Mm-hmm.
it is a movie straight up for comedy.
Yeah, unless it's like Paul Blart Mall Cop, something like
Yeah.
that. I hate that's the first movie that comes to my head. But yeah, I think that's generally kind of
I
my
yeah, same.
TED Talk review of Space Jam 2. The
I'd give it.
TLDR LeBron James is not good at acting.
You're not supposed to expect anything from a athlete, so
I mean, Michael Jordan was a little bit better, at least.
uh, I guess. But again, I ain't gonna hold him to it.
Yeah.
In the end, I'd say I'd have to give it. I'd give it 6 out of 10. Yeah, that's how I'm.
I was gonna say like a 6.5. 6.5,
That's not.
cause like I said, extra points for Big Chungus, so gets an extra
Wow.
0.5. Give it a 6.5. All
I'd
right.
still, I'd still keeping my vote. So I
Okay.
just didn't. like the movie as much. It's
Yeah.
not horrible, but I'm not gonna remember it down the line and
Mm-hmm.
say, "Oh yeah, I watched this with my friends when I was about your age." No, I'm not gonna be saying that, bro.
Yeah.
That's
It
like complete garbage.
if you showed me the first one and the second one and you were like, which one would you want to watch? I would pick the original. I would pick
Yeah,
the
I'd say
original.
I'd rather watch shittier quality, but in turn
Mm-hmm.
greater story.
Yeah. Alright, well, we're not very good at transitioning to other topics. But,
Speaking of, like,
spe-
nah.
speaking of making a movie, you make a movie by recording, and what can you record? Videos. That's the transition. Uh,
Filmora or something
this
like.
this
Sponsor me,
podcast
sponsor
is
me.
sponsored by Filmora. Go to Filmora. It's also sponsored by Honey. Go to joinhoney.com.
Isn't that Mr. Beast thing?
Yeah. Well,
You
like
wouldn't be
everyone's
too
sponsored
happy.
by Honey. There's just always those, like, it's always the same uh companies. I kind of want to talk about, why is it always the same exact companies that sponsor everyone? You always have your money saving company, your mobile app or mobile game company, and then your like cooking based company that always sponsor like everyone. And then also kind of like hygiene ones. It's always those four types of companies. It's always the same ones that sponsor like every single content creator.
Hey man, that's just how they want it to be.
I mean, how many times have you gone to someone and they'll be like, "This video is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends." I mean, like it's always like
uh,
Raid Shadow Legends. Oh, this video is sponsored by Honey. This video is sponsored by Blue Apron. This video is sponsored by Manscaped. It's always the same companies. Like it makes me think, how are these companies able to consistently pay like so many content creators so often? Because there's no
I
way
don't
they're
know.
making that much to be able to pay them consistently and still be able to easily make good products as well as a profit. Because it's not just get the name out. You have to try and get the name out, be able to pay the people you need to pay, be able to have the money to produce the products you need, but then also, you have to make you have to be able to make a profit to be able
Yeah.
to do like extra things and such. So, anyways,
I
well,
mean, how to learn business by Dukan. Yeah.
I'm a bit of a business dealer. Like I said earlier, I created Dogecoin. I just realized I said that off recording. So never mind. uh,
Yes.
but
Yes.
all right.
Mention something that they have no recollection
I
about.
had no recollection because they never heard me say I created Dogecoin. I'm the creator.
I mean, I think they'd still be pretty impressed.
Yeah, I'm actually Jeff Bezos.
Oh.
I'm currently on a chip. I'm on a rocket ship. I'm in space.
Yes, and I'm still on the ground. Our Wi-Fi connection, don't talk about it. Just don't talk about it.
Oh.
We make it work. We make it work.
All right. Well, we went on a bit of a tangent there, but I did want to move to like talking about videos because both of us haven't done much. I did recently do my commentary on the Fortnite season, Chapter 2, Season 6.
It was pretty nice to listen to. It gave me like Luke. Is his name Luke the Notable? Or
Yeah, the guy that
yeah,
like
it
tried
gave
to
me very much.
copyright 100 days.
Yeah, we don't talk about him in a good. We don't talk about him in a good light. But you were. It's very. Gave me very much vibes like him. Not in a bad way. Just how he
Yeah.
talks.
I will say I had a big problem with myself. I spent about like 2 months on that when I probably could have spent like a month, because it was near about like the last week or two of the school year. So this was like beginning of June. I first started doing the script, and
Uh.
then I didn't get to actually full on editing things till like a month and a half later.
Sheesh.
Yeah. I think the hardest section was probably the updates part. That was like 10 minutes on its own, and I had to do so much looking up like gameplay of so many different things and like screen recording stuff for like 2 seconds, adding it in and then having to have more things to fill in all like kind of like the empty space in between stuff. So there was so much
Oh,
just going all over the place trying to find things.
I mean, I feel like that's just how you any YouTube creator wants to has to go. But that's what any YouTube creator has to go through when
I mean,
uh, creating something that can keep their attention.
I'd say that's more something you have to deal with initially because a lot of people just kind of put generally the same kind of like clips and like audio of things in videos, so it's more that I feel like that's more of like a one-time thing. But I'm very much just I just get what I need. I kind of see each video as its own independent thing, so I don't really keep everything to really kind of be the same unless I'm doing something like a series because I have a lot of things just soon. A couple things I want to do, which was like continuing the Minecraft series. So like that's the goal series. That's gonna be its own thing. But then it's like I'm gonna redo a Rocket League video. That video sucked. Oh my gosh. That Rocket League
uh,
video sucked. I
skill issue.
I started recording. I'm like, okay, let me make sure the audio's fine. Oh, the music's too loud in the game. Let me turn that down. I didn't check if the whole game audio itself was too loud, so I never lowered that, so it was like impossible to hear me. I'm like, I'm gonna just redo this. So I was gonna do that and then like
Oh,
a
I could have
Roblox
told you a
video.
tip. I could have gave you a tip and trick, but that's gonna be off the video because I don't want to help anyone out. No offense.
But yeah, gener, I yeah, that was generally what I had planned. Because I mean, I don't want to, I don't want to really say what anything is, but obviously we've got something in the works, and so
Peep up.
I don't want to have too many things like too many videos playing at the moment, so I'm not like trying to pump out stuff, trying to like do thumbnails and things like that, but then also be trying to work on this thing. I kind of want to be like get a few videos out, take some time off to work on this and then get back and see where I go from there. Which I think is a bit different from you because you still haven't done anything in like even less
Bro,
time than I
okay, okay.
have.
No, 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 no. Okay, okay. Look, look, look. One, I think it's all right to become a kid, like become my age and do stuff other than YouTube. So I thought of it as like a little break as well. But I don't want to be doing YouTube while doing you know what,
Mhm.
because I feel like then I'm just gonna be too clustered, and that's how I'm just gonna want to have another break or and
Yeah.
become like burnt out. So I'm telling myself, all right, I'm gonna finish this first.
Mhm.
I'm gonna present this not as an excuse, but for a reason why I was out. Hopefully, it will pay off, and I didn't just take time off of YouTube for nothing. But I
it
definitely don't want to do two things at once.
it paying off 100% depends on me. That's for sure. But I mean, that's kind of
Hopefully,
why
it
I'm trying to get stuff out now because my portion of what I have to do, I don't have to do yet, but I am worried about the section I'm working on because I'm scared that I'm gonna like completely mess stuff up and it's just it's not gonna work out and I'm gonna be like I can't do this.
well, one thing is for sure, we can't really say anything until it actually comes up.
Mhm.
Secondly, I'm just having it on the loop, so I like my like mine's kind of off because I'm trying to focus on how good it looks. But it's just it's just very funny to look at. It's just rocking out while we're talking. But like I was saying, it definitely is something we have to wait till the future to happen. But
Yeah.
again, like I tell you, and like I could say again to my viewers, at the end of the day, we are complete strangers. to our viewers, and our viewers are complete strangers to us.
Yeah, if you need more of
And
an
I'm
explanation, simply go to the YouTube channel Ludwig and watch his video titled "I Am Not Your Friend," and then yeah, we're good.
but like I'm not saying I'm not your friend, but I at the end of the day I'm not held down by
Mhm.
YouTube. So
Yeah.
I do love to post content, and I
Oh yeah.
do love to make people's days a little better.
Mhm.
But let me be me first before I head into a camera and be someone else.
Yeah. I
Because
mean.
again, I like to bring everything about myself.
Mhm.
Um, so I'm like 100% at my fullest and best performance for my viewers, and the same could probably go for you. I don't want to have a bad day and then give put that bad day into a video. That's
Mhm.
not what someone's looking for. Someone's looking to have a better day. So, and it's not even just mood swings on that. It's just more
Mhm.
all overall motivation, because you know those fake YouTubers. You probably seen them a lot.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You see them everywhere. It's like a virus. Like, no hate
Mhm.
to them. Like, get that bread, but obviously we can all tell when we reach a certain age that you're faking it, and I don't
Yeah.
want to be
It
those
like
people.
whatchamacallit, like the one dude that made like 3 a.m. videos. I can't remember. Eli
Yeah,
Socre, and he's like calling Among Us at 3 a.m. You can just tell he's just trying to do it to get some views.
yeah.
Which, I mean, the 3 a.m. content that makes me think. I mean, a channel that actually does care what they make, the Arcade Craniacs, that makes all those like ironic kind of 3 a.m. videos where they're very like self-aware and kind of they're actually funny and can kind of like appeal to like multiple audiences. Like that is what like a YouTuber that actually cares about what they're doing is like.
Mhm.
And then there's the people who put like 5 million things up a day, have like a black screen for like 5 minutes because they need to stretch out the video to put ads in, and somehow have like a million subs. That's
Yeah,
like kind of your lazy YouTuber, but
yeah, definitely. I feel like some people are that straightly in it for the money. Like, let's take for example Leafy. He was short lived when he came back for a
mm-hmm.
little while, but during his prime around 2016, he wasn't lying. He was grinding for that money. Like, he would just
Yeah,
post
yeah,
whatever he could have, whatever he could find about someone, he would just
mm-hmm.
post it. Which, I mean, at least he's direct to the point. But even though he did grind about it, there was something about his personality that he did put into the videos, unironically, that had a lot of people gravitating towards him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not gonna say he's a good guy at all. Like I'm not saying he's a good guy, but he's a damn well funny guy, and like
Yeah,
I just his content's really funny to look at from time to time.
yeah. He knows how to keep people feeling kind of engaged,
Yes,
which
very much.
is a very important thing I think with commentary, because my favorite type of stuff to watch is like commentary type things. I mean, I like a lot of gaming commentary and kind of more horror type stuff. I mean, I'd say probably one of my favorite channels for like the past few weeks at 100% has been like Nexpo, because he does a lot
Mm,
of more kind of like unsettling. He commentates on a lot of more kind of like unsettling horror based stuff. I always find a lot of, he knows how to keep you engaged. He's got that like
yeah,
corpse husband deep voice, and it's like he kind of knows how to set up transitions in a way
yeah.
that you're like kind of on the edge of your seat. And
If you
I
can, oh my bad.
yeah, and I'm not good. I'm not the best at it right now, but I do slowly want to try and kind of improve on commentary, because I want to try and do gaming and commentary related stuff. It's the
I
main thing
mean,
I want to
you
do.
definitely improved. You definitely improved with the addition of music and the whole sound engineering. No matter
Oh god.
how amateur it was, like
I spent so much
still.
time just being like, okay, let me look at all the emotes I own on Fortnite. What ones would be good to have as background music? And I like you can literally watch. You can tell I just gave up halfway through because I just started putting like the Splatoon soundtrack in the most
But
recent
no,
bit.
hey, you still gave effort in it, and it definitely did show that you improved from.
Mhm.
No offense when you started off, when you were like, "Hey guys, it's been a hot minute." Awkward pause, awkward pause, awkward pause. Then you talk again. So
Yeah.
probably been wondering where I've been, but like other than that, like you definitely have improved. So
Mhm. Yeah, because I mean, I think so far. I'd say my best things are when it comes to commentary. I think easily my Fortnite vid, but I think in general, besides that, the Phasmophobia vid is probably my favorite. Just because
mhm.
a big thing with that is that it's not like we pretty much all acted as if I wasn't making a video. We were
Yeah,
pretty much just acting like we were just all having fun playing the funny ghost game. So it was very
yeah.
kind of
It
kind
was
of like a
just very
raw
raw.
recording. Yeah.
Yeah, like Gordon Ramsay would say, like just
Yeah.
raw.
So I think that's when more like gaming related stuff can be a lot more fun to watch. Because then you can
Yeah.
really you get a better idea of kind of how the person is.
I feel like if you have something that can keep the viewers engaged, I mean, yes, everyone has a short attention span when it comes to sitting down and watching someone entertain them because there's so many options. So you can't hold people for not like watching for too long. But if you
Mhm.
do have some good techniques like adding text for them to read, like subtitles, which again takes hell of a
All
long time.
I'm gonna be honest, half the time I see content creators put like the like text on the screen for like every single thing said. Sometimes I do get a bit annoyed by it. Like half the people that use it. I'm like just gonna be honest. I get a
I
bit
mean,
annoyed.
okay, yeah, that's definitely it does keep those people like engaged to a certain extent because words aren't just gonna keep a person engaged. They can
Mhm.
watch anime if they wanted to watch subtitles, but
You could become
it's other
deaf if you
things
wanted to watch
too.
subtitles.
Yeah, like for real. Other than that, though, like there's things like creating like little sections where you like draw something in or add icons or something. It's just if you go out of your way to make something entertaining, it definitely will pay off.
Mhm. Yeah, I think a big thing with YouTube content creators and keeping things entertaining are YouTube videos especially. I think it's always more like the little things that make you want to stay. It's
Yes.
never like the big main thing about a channel. It's always those like little things about it that always kind of keep you hooked.
Mhm.
Which I guess I don't have many because I'm pretty sure like a few days ago I checked the average watch time of the Fortnite video and it was like 3 minutes out of the like over 20.
Look, I had whatchamacallit, I have a low watch rate too, so I can't say anything either about that, but it's what happens is that's not everyone. And
Mm-hmm.
that's definitely one tip I have to say. Don't be focusing on whatchamacallit,
Like one
the number.
specific thing.
Yeah, don't focus on the numbers because it literally I've seen small YouTubers and during my time doing this solo before Nukai decided to join YouTube was that someone kept on watching their analytics and literally quit because of it.
Hmm.
That's like what are you here for? Are you here to make
Yeah.
someone's day better or are you here
Yeah.
just for the money at the end of the day?
Yeah. That's why I've thought about it more of like currently it's more of like I'm doing this just for fun and to try and entertain people, but you know, if I get to a point where I can make a decent amount of money, I might then put a little more thought into like income and seeing if
Yeah.
it because at that point I'm like, okay, can I see if I can get to a point where I can make this a sustainable enough source that I can literally make it my job kind of
Because I think
thing.
that's what everyone wants to do, especially be like their favorite creators. Like I was
Yeah.
gonna say with like Corey Extension, like again, that's how I don't want to say every single because like I'm not trying to like say anything, but not most content creators that I see, predominantly black content creators, when they're in the gaming field, when they tend to try and take a poke at YouTube, I'm not saying they're unoriginal. They definitely do put their own spin to it, and they definitely do start to branch off. But you can see very much a resemblance to many bigger content
Yeah,
creators, like bigger black content creators like Corey Extension or Berleezy. That's usually
yeah.
the ones that I see. So
I
it's like you could say what you
Yeah,
wanted to say.
I will say I think a big thing with them is, I mean, you look at like the biggest people like Corey and Berlazy. I think a big thing that makes people find them entertaining are they're generally they're very energetic people. Like
Yeah.
they're like Corey is pretty much like pretty much making his voice box just explode the
Yes.
whole time. You know, like it's very high energy, a lot of kind of excitement, and that's what really keeps you there, you know?
Mhm.
I mean, there's not really much to stay there for now, but, you know.
Yeah, like we don't talk about him like being on, but hey, he's still a good dude. He's still a great dude.
Yeah.
But with the like I was trying to say, with the me realizing again, looking at what just happened yesterday for any of some of the people that may be watching this is you already may know what you call it DreamCon happened yesterday. And for the people who don't know, it's just a convention where all black creators, whether it's cosplaying or actually doing YouTube or doing TikTok, I would say Viners, but like because you could see some people, you can see some of the
Mate,
oldies
it's
like in there.
2021, man. Come on.
Yeah, it's 2021. So I want to say Viners. They have like
Alright.
implemented themselves onto TikTok, but I'm
Yeah.
like some of the oldies, but some of
Yeah.
the OGs are there too, like
King
Heartstop
Botch with his
Lucas.
comically large spoon.
King Botch was not a part of it. King Botch was not a part of it. I'm not gonna go into the whole spiel, but Botch was not a part of it. People like Heartstop Lucas was there. That was the only one I got to see, but hopefully there was other. Oh, Caleb City was also there
Mm-hmm.
too with the pizza's here guy.
I would recite
Yeah,
it, but you know.
yeah. But it was like people like those were there and watching not I couldn't see the whole convention because obviously it would be illegal. You had to pay for tickets to even see it in the first place. But the
Mm-hmm.
snippets that I got to see and some of the people I got to see there, rest in peace, Etika. I really wish that he was able to go there.
Oh, yeah.
He was also a very great black YouTuber that
Oh
a
my
lot of people
gosh.
hold
You
near and
you
dear.
you want to talk about someone being energetic?
Yeah.
I mean, there is not a single second where there isn't a smile on the viewer's face.
Yeah. Joy-Con boys for life. But like I was saying, it really made me realize and grow as a person that I don't want to be like Corey
Mm-hmm.
X Kenshin, because like one, he was very much the reason why I started YouTube.
Yeah.
But that was when I was younger and more not gullible, not to disrespect his name, but it's as a younger sense, you always want to be like the person you look up to. Like when I was on the PS4, I would always look up to some of the people I would look on there for, like some of the
Mm-hmm.
friends. I'm not gonna say their names because obviously they don't even know this video exists. But there, that's why I could see why people want to be like some of these creators. But that's why I'm rebranding my channel. Obviously, it is not
Mm-hmm.
wrong to have certain it's not wrong to have certain snippets and
Similarities.
sections and similarities towards your greatest
Mm-hmm.
idols.
Yeah.
But
A big thing is having your own kind of like spin in a way
yeah, have
that
your
makes
own
you stand out.
originality.
Yeah.
I literally copied Corey X Kenshin's outro when I first started YouTube. Um,
I did notice
yeah,
that, like you had like the like
and then
verses at the end of the
um,
things and everything.
yeah, but I mean, I still want to keep that as a
Yeah,
similarity personally
yeah,
to me. But very much you could tell. Oh yeah, this kid
yeah.
he watches Corey Extension. Um, ever since Corey Extension left, which I would say is like for a lot of people, they're saying, "Oh my God, come back." It's like, man, do
It
whatever you gotta do.
just have to accept it.
First off, you have to accept it. But I felt like it was very much a very good thing for a lot of upcoming YouTubers, or
Mhm.
including myself, because we have a taste of what it's like to be on
Yeah.
our own.
I just think the only thing I think he should do is at least put out like one last video of like unboxing a diamond plate button and kind of giving like an actual send off,
Yeah,
not
his
just
speeches were
leaving
very
it.
much. Yeah, it's something was very much included, but hey, I feel like he is gonna do it. This video isn't about Corey. I hope I hope this man does very well in life. Like, not to sound salty, but the whole reason why I brought up DreamCon is for people like me, or um people that watch this video that want to be a YouTuber. Not like this is gonna be blowing up and people are gonna see it,
You never know.
but
YouTube algorithm is the weirdest thing in the world.
yeah, I mean, there was a whole talk about it on. I'm going off on a tangent, but there was a whole talk about it with this like one guy. TikTok actually has a better algorithm because it's more sporadic and like really just unpredictable. That's why
Hmm.
it literally get people just standing there and saying a word, and they would, like, no hate to them, but that's just how good the
Yeah,
algorithm
I
is.
mean, all I'm saying is that's one of the reasons why I don't like it. That's all I'm saying.
Take notes, but I feel like they should be taking notes.
Yeah, because I think YouTube has one of the weirdest algorithms. Because it'll just be someone could be never heard of. There's a bit of a dumb example, but like I'll use Dream Minecraft. Like
What?
he
That's
kind
the
of
point of the
on
mask.
because like he kind of was like, he was doing all right, maybe like about 100K, and just making he made like completely different content back then. He basically made like commentaries on different like Minecraft related things. But then the second he started doing Manhunt, it was just went from nothing to YouTube algorithm completely picks him up out of the blue, and he just blows up. I mean, that's why there will be like the same video in your recommended for like a month, because YouTube algorithm is just so odd.
I that's just a blatant term to put it into.
That's just what the point of the mask is.
Oh my god, please.
But I will say, I think it is a bit funny because you were saying like, oh, I started YouTube because Corey Kenshin. I just think it's a bit funny that really the only reason I started was just because I did an interview with a person who was part of the YouTube's community, which
Mm,
is a little bit funny because it is a bit of a dream for me to be able to actually get my own figure, because it if you don't follow me at nuke_I on Instagram, you can see I have a very big YouTube's collection. I have a lot, almost 70. So there's definitely something I'd like to try and reach as a goal, but right now it's really just I have a lot of ideas. I'd like to do those ideas, and kind of as I go like finish up high school, going in like junior year, see if I can grow a channel, and then after I graduate, if I feel like I could build it to a point where I can start making an income, I will try and actually put even more effort and legitimately try and make it a job.
yeah, I definitely could say the same.
Because I mean, you can see from a lot of younger creators that like stuff like college really gets in the way, like just school in general really gets in the way of like a lot of creators when
I'm
it
not
comes
saying
to being able to make
I'm
content.
not saying don't do school though. That's not what he's
Oh,
saying.
yeah, no. But I'm just saying you don't want to try and be pretty much acting like it is your job
Yeah,
while you're still in school,
that's
just
the
think of it
whole
as a
like thing
fun
where if
little
you're not
side thing.
responsible. Yeah, yeah. Don't
Yeah.
think you're ever responsible for really doing it
Hmm.
when it's literally just something you do for fun.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to do a lot of things now, because obviously, summer break, so I kind of have time to work on things, which,
Gives us time to really just plan.
yeah. I mean, probably the main thing I've been working on is trying, keyword is trying, to like improve on drawing and trying doing better thumbnails. Because I mean, I've told you this. I absolutely suck at proportions. That's all. I've always sucked at it, but I am not the best at it at all. I just suck. So I want to try and, as time goes by, improve. Because there's been a lot of different ideas for thumbnails and such that I've tried to do and just scrap the idea just because I was like, I can't make this look good.
I have to say the opposite. Really, just so much so. Just the Even though I said that I don't really owe people anything, which is true, you don't really owe anyone
Mm-hmm.
um what you have in your heart, but at the same time, that doesn't mean you can underhand quality.
Yeah.
I always thought back then, I felt like I had way more personality than I did now. Ever since I got the head cam, which is why I definitely believe when you're put into a corner, that's when a human can best be represented. Um, I still do believe that because back when I didn't have my hand cam, I mean, I felt like I was way more creative. I felt like I was way more like clever with the way I was trying to communicate because I
Mm-hmm.
didn't have communication back then. I only had my voice and my gameplay. And to
Mm-hmm.
not make it stale, I just put a bunch of memes, and it wasn't horrendously like too much in your face. It wasn't too much in your face. Like no, you could actually just vibe, feel like you're in that video with me, and really enjoy the stuff that I put there. Now I just feel like um since I had the face cam, I didn't really put as much effort as
Mm-hmm.
I did then.
Yeah,
Um
that's kind of. I mean, there's a few reasons why I haven't really had like a face cam, but I think I've kind of come to a conclusion of if my channel starts growing, then either at like 1 mil, anywhere from like 1 million to 5 million subs, I would maybe like do a face reveal. Depending, like if I ever actually manage to get to a point like that, then I would maybe do it at one of those times, depending on how quickly I would see my channel growing. But I
yeah.
generally want to kind of have it really just be my voice, because I feel
True.
like that's kind of it's a bit dumb to say, but kind of just the best aspect of me when it comes to trying to make videos and
Yeah.
content.
Yeah.
Is
Your voice is very soothing.
I mean, I personally, not to boost my own ego, but I just personally think generally kind of how I talk and the way I say a lot of things is what I'm best at. I mean, I did a lot of messing around in the script trying to sound like myself, kinda, but talk in a way that people are like, he talks funny. He's pretty clever in the way brings up things and like that. Because a big thing I want to do, I mean, that's like I said, the Phasmophobia vid is very like raw recording.
Raw.
I I
Yeah.
I I want to be more like that, where it's more like I'm just being myself, because I feel like that's the best thing when it comes to being a content creator, because you don't want to put this false
Persona.
vision, yeah, like this false persona to people.
Like, hey guys, welcome back to the 100th video. We're gonna be doing the same thing for the 100th time.
Yeah, because I mean, some of my favorite content creators are probably like, I'd say like Dawko and 8-Bit Ryan, and they a lot of the time put out more kind of personal videos. Like they're very themselves. They'll be like,
Yeah.
I don't want, if I'm not in a good mood, I won't record a video, but sometimes I have to. Like they're open, honest, and they're themselves, and
Mm,
that's one of the reasons why I find them the most entertaining.
yeah. Definitely. I do watch a little bit of A-Bit Ryan here and there.
Well, I think I'm the bigger fan because I kind of own his YouTubers. So
Okay. Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Let me just shut it then.
I gotta keep flexing my UT's collection so then I have a better chance of getting a figure. I'm trying.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, I think those are really the most important things when it comes to trying to do YouTube.
For
But a big thing is I don't feel like a lot of people realize is if you want to legitimately try and make this a career, you have to seriously act like it is a like 9 to 5 Monday through Sunday job. You have to be constantly
yeah.
pumping out content. You have to be really working on stuff, and that's why
Because like I haven't done a video, so you like take his word for it.
yeah, that's why it's like currently just for fun until I legitimately have all the time I want to be able to constantly be working on things
Yeah.
and then
Because as
see
of
where it
right
goes
now,
from there.
yeah. So for me, I'd say an important thing is be yourself.
Mhm.
Like, know you love your idols. I love mine just as much, but the people did not come just to look at a cheap copy. And to put it simply, that's what it is. No offense, but that's really what it is. You're just a cheap imitation of what you want to be
Mhm.
when you quote unquote blow up, if that ever happens. But what you really want to aim for is just being yourself. And again with
Mhm.
DreamCon, like I wanted to finish that, but I totally forgot. It definitely taught me that I like this, I like that, and I don't have to be like what I like.
Mhm.
Wait, I don't
Wait.
have to be what
Wait.
I yeah, it didn't make sense. I'm gonna rephrase. I like what I like. Like back then, I definitely did think back then. I feel bad for all the kids back then that liked anime. I definitely do feel bad for them because I felt like it was a stigma at school where if you liked anime, you were definitely boom labeled as the weirdo.
Look, all I'm
But
saying, I'm not an
look,
anime fan. That's all I'm saying.
yeah. I get that. I get that. You can like what you like, but there is a subsection of us which is DreamCon. Literally that community. There's a subsection of us that is not weird. I'm telling you, if you can like anime without being weird, like when you make it everything that is able to be known about you, that is what makes you weird. If
Yeah.
you like what you see on television, that is what makes you weird.
Yeah. If you
Not
can recite
liking
the
it. What
entire lore of Fortnite, you are weird.
well, if okay, okay. That was not me. That was not me. I did not say anything. I did not claim that. But if you can literally like, if it's not a problem of knowledge, it's more just what you do with what you've experienced that makes you weird or not. I
Mhm.
remember this one vivid memory of a person. I'm not gonna say their names, obviously, but a person was asking this person, like they were confused. They said what senpai was, and then some
There's a song from the funny rhythm game.
yeah, but like they asked me. I knew what senpai was back then, but I just like since I didn't want to be ridiculed for knowing that stuff, I said, nah, bro, I don't know anything about that. But
Yeah.
like looking back then and looking now, I definitely think it's way more like modernized and way more accepted by more people
Mhm.
because it's not the weirdos taking lead anymore.
Yeah.
It's more just average people like me
Yeah.
and other people that like anime
Yeah.
but don't have to be weird about it.
It's. I mean, this can really go for anything. You have to realize there's always a vocal minority in
Yes.
pretty much everything that will cause it to seem like a whole group is a certain way when it's really just a small section is much louder. You know, there's a vocal minority and a quiet majority.
Yeah. Yeah. But again, yeah, definitely agree with that. with the whole DreamCon thing, I want to put it to a close because I don't want this whole video to be about that.
I mean, half the podcast is
Fixing,
probably already about Space Jam, so.
and me fixing the wording that I said. I realized I can like what I like openly, which is
Mm-hmm.
like other stuff. Like I could admit it.
Yeah.
I like sports, but I could say I'm a black nerd. Like I could say that. I like football. I
Yeah.
like that, but I also like other nerdy things, and I can hold that on my shoulders with pride.
I mean, that just leads back to Lily what I was saying about like being a good content creator. Just be yourself.
Yeah, be
Just be yourself.
yourself.
You know, I know the entire Fortnite lore. I don't care. I've seen all the Matt Pat FNAF game theory videos.
Same, same. That's one thing I did not care about. If you said FNAF was old, you were dead to me. Definitely dead to me. I don't care when it peaked, and I don't care when it dropped. It's still near and dear to my heart. It's a very good franchise.
I mean, look, all I'm saying, I would play Security Beach if I owned a PS5.
Yes, I would too. I would too. Wait, it's already out on PS5?
No, there's
I
been
was
no
about to
release
say.
date yet.
Yeah.
I that actually does make me lead to another thing I want to talk about with like video ideas. I have a lot.
Enough.
I have a lot of like video ideas that are kind of something I wouldn't be able to do for all, mainly because of costs. Like, I'm like, oh, I really want to do like stuff on like FNAF VR, but just a VR headset costs like a lot of money.
I'd say
So
I'd say
it'd be like I need too many I need a capture card, I need to actually be able to get a VR headset, a lot of things I need to get just to be able to make the
no,
videos.
you could capture it. Okay, okay. For when I attempted to make a VR video,
It didn't go well.
I couldn't because my computer literally cannot run OBS, and like it can run them separately, but it
Mm-hmm.
cannot run OBS and a VR game together. Any other game with OBS works perfectly fine. It's just VR that it just will not work with because my hand get all shaky. It looks like I'm having a seizure,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just not a very good look. So I wouldn't want to put that out on the internet. I definitely would love to play it. And I feel like I have to scaring people getting scared. I feel like is the most entertaining thing
Yeah, it,
for
it
people.
gives a good laugh
Literally,
because
it's literally my
it's
horror.
literally we are
Yeah,
laughing with you because I would be the same way.
yeah. Like if you can have a person staying there, if you can have a person staying with you on a horror video and not want to feel like getting off,
Mm-hmm.
while like they're willing to get scared with you, you are doing something right.
Yeah,
You're doing something right there.
yeah,
So getting scared overall is something that people I feel tend to like to see
yeah.
more from people,
I mean,
but it's
whatchamacallit.
not just scary videos alone.
Yeah, because I mean, whatchamacallit. I mean, Corey Kenshin made a lot of stuff on like more like horror games based
Yeah, and
things.
that's what people watch him for. Like I
Yeah,
watch him, like I will willingly get scared with him. Um,
you know,
like
people.
regardless if I'm having my hands on my eyes or not, like sound alone will still scare
Look,
me. So I will still be there with you
look.
some way.
I'll be honest. I got a little scared while playing FNAF Pizza Simulator. All right, I'll be honest.
Yeah. I mean, who wouldn't be? FNAF is psychologically scary because it punishes you, and you know that you're gonna get punished. It's the punishing factor that makes it scary.
I don't know. I'll be honest. Ironically enough, I can't really speak much. I've only played Pizza Simulator and Ultimate Custom Night. I'll be honest. Ultimate Custom Night is not scary. It's
Yeah.
not. It's that game. Ultimate
Have
Custom
you
Night
just
is
found
more of, instead of
yeah,
the other games where it's just stressful, it's more of not stressful. It's scary. Ultimate Custom Night is more stressful than scary, especially when you have more like things to deal with.
yeah, I definitely could say that.
But back to what I was saying, like with like stuff being expensive, there's like a lot of ideas I have where it's like it's more of I want to do. It's not as much I want to do these things. It's more of if it were possible, like you know,
And
'cause
that's where
I told you this, like doing
yeah,
like a like Secret Santa video. I think it'd be really funny with like a bunch of friends.
definitely I think it would be funny, but um, with other than like ideas, I mean, try to execute any of your ideas the best way, because not all your ideas are good, and
Mm-hmm.
not all of your ideas are bad, but you still have to execute them regardless. And I feel like
Yeah.
having something like cost in the way, I feel like definitely if you put yourself into it, and like, not, I'm not saying bro, you're broke, get a job, not saying that. But if you are really into YouTube and you really want to make something fun for your viewers to see, I feel like I'd go that extra mile and get a job and
Mm-hmm.
definitely get money so I can fund my own self or find other ways to get money legally.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know why I had to put the legally part in there, but get your bread, but at a legal cost, bro. Yeah, I know you love YouTube, but why
uh,
are you selling drugs, bro?
Look, all I'm saying, I could probably make a pretty easy, like, 3K if I sold my whole YouTube collection, alright? That's all I'm saying.
Hey, if people have a niche for it, people have a niche for it.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think that's a pretty good. This it's been a pretty good podcast. I mean, I don't
Yes.
want to wrap it
I
up
was, I
because I'm
was,
not
I was
a
gonna
guy.
say, I think we've generally gotten out what we wanted to say. We've been going
Yeah,
for over an hour now.
and let me finally finish my wording. You can like what you like and still try to be different.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good way of saying it. Like what you like, but still try to be different. You're not the same person that you look up to. You're bad. You're a cheap imitation. Stop it. Stop it right now. I don't want to look at that. I want to look at you in the heart. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, uh, if somehow anyone actually manages to have listened through all of this chaos, uh,
I will
thank
be
you. I
surprised,
would be
bro.
surprised. Thank you for, listening, and hopefully we can continue the podcast. There's the possibility we might have a special guest in a later episode. Who
Oh,
knows? But, yeah, thank you all for listening,
yeah.
and we'll see you all in the next one.
See ya.